I've analyzed hundreds of faceless YouTube channels in the last 9 years of doing YouTube automation, and what I'm about to show you is the 7 top niches printing money right now. So you can go into these niches and make lots of money for barely any effort. Now, before we get into it, if you're new here, my name is Caleb Box. I've been doing YouTube automation since 2016. In fact, I made over $3 million with it, and I've been featured in Forbes, Men's Journal, and I was also personally mentored by people like Mr. Beast, the biggest creator on the planet at this point. Every week, I upload videos helping you grow a faceless YouTube channel, so go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you want to get notified. All right, so what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be listing 7 different niches and channels that I wanna review with you. And I'm gonna be giving you guys the difficulty level on a scale 1 to 10. I'll be giving you guys the more, if it's long-term or it's more of a short-term trend, if it's gonna, die off or it's gonna be successful long-term. But also another thing I want to scale these channels based off of is popularity. So on a scale 1 to 10, I'll tell you how popular they are. These are the gauges I typically go for when I'm trying to study if a niche is good and if I want to pursue a niche. It'll also help some of you guys because if a difficulty is extremely hard, if you're a beginner to YouTube automation, you may not want to go into a niche where the difficulty is extremely hard. But if you're someone experienced watching this video right now, then going into an extremely hard niche is okay because you understand the game. All right, so let's get into the first one. All right, so the first one I have for you guys is SleeplessHistorian. Now, this channel is making long videos, pretty much 2 hours long, but they actually only do about 20 minutes of visual work that they'll show off, and I'll show you in a second what that means. So it's not actually that they're making 2 hours of graphics and everything in the background. It's a little bit easier than that. But ultimately, they're making videos for people who want to fall asleep to different medieval times and history lessons almost. And if you, real quick, let's go to their analytics before we show you what they're actually doing on their video. I want to show you how much money they're making per month. So we use the Chrome extension NextLev, and we're going to use NextLev to estimate how much they're making. They're making about $43,000, guys. $43,000 for doing this, and this channel just started. Let's see, it started, I believe, if we look at their oldest video, actually, let's see their oldest video of when they started doing this. Their oldest video was 3 months ago, okay? So they started 3 months ago, and they're already at 500,000 subscribers. I mean, out of any of the YouTube automation channels, this might be one of the bigger ones that's more recently taking off. So this niche is very good, and I think that this niche, and the way I look at it, you don't have to talk about medieval times. You could be talking about anything like Roman Empire times. You could be talking about, I don't know, the Civil War, like anything you can think of that is historian, you can have that as almost something that people can fall asleep to. Now that I think about it, I don't know if the people want to fall asleep to talk to learning about Civil War, but there might be some weirdos out there who want to fall asleep to that. So let's go ahead and take a look at what they're actually doing with their videos, because I want you guys to understand what goes into it. So let's click on this video here.
Tonight we begin.
This is their most popular video. The first thing I want to show you guys, which is why it's so funny to me, whoever started this channel really didn't care. Why did they not care? Because you see in the top left, guys, there's literally a CapCut watermark in their video. They did not even want to pay the $10 or $15 subscription a month for a CapCut in order to remove the watermark. That's how much they don't care about just uploading these videos, all right? So that's something to know. So let's watch real quick a quick snippet of what they did. They're using 11 Labs, an AI narration software, to go ahead and play the audio. So this is not a human, what you're about to listen to. This is an AI, so listen.
Begin with something a little darker. A time of plagues, punishments, and pottage. We're diving into what life was really like during the Middle Ages.
So you can see that it's very quiet. He's very soft-spoken. It's made on purpose that way because we're supposed to fall asleep to it, right? People listen to it kind of almost like a podcast. Now, you know how people would be, most of you guys will probably look at this and be like, oh, well, I don't know how to find all of these different imageries and blah, blah, blah. Well, the images are found a mix of Google images. You can find these images just searching all over Google for these type of images, or they are actually generated through AI as well, which you can use ChatGPT to generate these photos for you and create like little, old style art of historian times, okay? So that's what they're doing. But what I want you to understand is they didn't find graphics to put in the background for the full 2 hours. What I noticed was interesting was I think around, right here, you see this, around the 37-minute mark was when they stopped showing graphics. And if we play right here, we can see that after 37 minutes, all of a sudden it goes completely, let me skip right here, it goes completely black. You see this? Like the rest of the video, there is no graphics shown at all the rest of the video. So that means that you really only have to find graphics for like the first 30 minutes, and then the rest of the video could just be the narration and then just a black screen. Okay, so I just wanted you guys to understand that's what they're doing. It's not as much work as you may think to do the 2 hours because of that. The other thing is most likely they're hiring some editor is what they're going to be doing. And to hire an editor, you can hire them on like Upwork.com or Fiverr.com. It varies on cost. For a 10-minute video, you can probably get $40 to $70. But when it comes down to a longer length video, like I said, you only have to make maybe 30 minutes of this to be background footage. That might cost you upwards of like maybe $150 to hire an editor to do that for you. And then from there, it's just black screen, so it doesn't really matter. Typically when you hire an editor, they'll do it all for you. So that's why I personally just hire editors on like Upwork.com and Fiverr. But anyways, my point is they're able to pull all of this off. Like most of the Faceless YouTube channels I'm going to be showing you guys, they're using these tools that I just mentioned, 11 Labs, ChatGPT to write the script, and they're using like an editor that they find on Fiverr.com or Upwork to do it for them. But that's what they're doing. And so this channel is completely crushing it for them. I would say, based on like just studying what they've been able to pull off, I think this is a huge opportunity, honestly. Like out of all of the niches out there, this might be one of the bigger top ones that you can walk into currently that's working. Like I said, if I was you guys, I wouldn't just he's doing more medieval times. I would probably be doing videos on like Roman Empire times, that kind of thing that people can fall asleep to. I think if I had to rate this, I would say scale 1 to 10 on popularity. I would say this is probably a 10. Like it's the top of the top. When it comes down to difficulty, I would say it's medium level because like I said, you do have to get footage or hire someone, which costs a little bit more money to get 30 minutes worth of footage. I mean, normally I'd personally do 10 to 15 minute long videos, but this specific niche, you're gonna need to do longer videos for it to work. And so that will cost a little bit more money. So I would put this difficulty at medium scale just because of that fact. Long-term success or short-term success, I would say this is a long-term success. I would say like, it's a 10. You want to go into a niche that has very, very longevity and long-term success. These are very evergreen ideas and this will always get him views long-term. So I think this is a very, very good niche. Okay, real quick, before we get back into the episode, if you're looking to build a 6-figure faceless YouTube automation channel, I have the perfect plan for you. I'm hosting my monthly 5-day live online challenge where you can get practical step-by-step information on how to crush it with your faceless YouTube automation channel. In this challenge, not only am I going to be answering your questions live, but you'll be joined by an amazing community all taking action over 5 days for a chance to win cash prize giveaways. It's one of the most exciting courses you'll ever take. Just hear what people have said about it.
I just finished the 5-day challenge with Caleb Box. Mind blown.
And as of this morning, I'm up over 5,000 views.
Honestly, I think he took like a $3,000 program and like put all of that information into a 5-day challenge that was actually affordable.
Took me through step by step, whether you have a little experience or none.
Everything that I needed to learn to start a YouTube channel and be successful, I learned from this course.
I feel like there was zero holding back.
He's a genuine and caring guy.
If you're considering whether or not you should take it, do it.
Join this, you will not regret it.
All right, so the next one we got is airport tips and tricks. I've seen a lot of these channels randomly pop up. It's actually crazy how simple they are. If you look here, let's filter the most popular. You'll see like ideas like 11 hidden flight tricks airlines are keeping quiet about on purpose, or 11 must-know tips to survive a long flight in economy. Like these ideas are getting views, and what I realized very interestingly is the people that watch these videos are typically older demographics. I found that it's usually not younger people that want to watch this. It's like people in their 60s or 70s that are watching these videos, which if you don't know how YouTube works, YouTube pays you more money typically, I found, the older the demographics that the content is made for. So that's why I think this probably is going to pay you a lot of money per 1,000 views. Typically a channel can get about a $4 every 1,000 views. In this niche, who knows, it could be an $8 that they're making every 1,000 views. So it could be significantly higher just because they're targeting older people. Now, it's a brand new channel. I want to show you guys like their oldest video was 2 months ago. You see this? Literally their oldest video was 2 months ago. This is a brand new channel. I wanted to show you guys in this episode a lot of newer channels because I know a lot of people will ask me, well, Caleb, some of your previous videos you've shown off more established people and I can't relate to that. Like I want to see beginners who are going viral, niches that are currently working for beginners. So what I'm showing you in this episode is mostly that. And you can see this is working very, very well for a beginner, someone who's brand new. Now let's see how how much they're doing on this channel. Very niched of a topic. Let's see, analytics. Let's go to channel revenue and see $5,000 a month. Very easy money, right? $5,000 a month that they're making from this very simple airport tips and tricks channel. It's crazy how simple it is, and it's working. And if we look at the videos, let's go real quick to the video.
Airlines used to trick passengers in 2025.
So you can see,
ever feel like airports are designed to mess with you?
It's a very, very simple like editing, guys. Like it's really not complex to pull this together at all. You're talking about stock footage. This is the most basic level Faceless YouTube channel. So this would be, in my opinion, on a difficulty scale, this niche is easy. I would say on a popularity scale, this is probably a 4. I would give this niche a 4. It's not the greatest popularity. There's not like millions of people that want to learn about flight tips like this. So it's a very small niche, and I don't know how longevity it will be, which is why I would say I would put the popularity and long-term success of this at a 4. Like both of them would probably be a rating of a 4, just because I don't think it's not a good long-term niche, but it's a good, right now, short-term, it's a good money maker for like $5,000 or so a month that you're trying to make. All right, so we got another channel here. So this one is a little bit similar to flight tips and tricks, but it's a little bit more niche, which is about the actual aircraft. It's breaking down different flights, different types of airplanes and stuff like that we all travel on. And it's very interesting of an idea. Like for example, they talk about like United Emirates and like their certain type of plane that they use, and like the breakdown and specific dimensions and all this stuff. Very geeky stuff about planes. And surprisingly, it's getting lots and lots of views. You can see 700,000 views on this one, another 700K on this one. And this is a brand new channel. We go to the oldest video they've ever uploaded. It was 2 months ago. So again, brand new channel, quickly got monetized, quickly started making some good money. Let's see how much they're doing right now per month if we go to analytics. So let's have this load real quick. And let's see channel revenue. $10,000 a month, guys. $10,000 a month. So this channel would be, I would consider this channel probably a little bit more lucrative, this niche, than flight tips. I would say specifically talking about actual airplanes seems to be more lucrative than flight tips. Now, you can see like, let me see the videos real quick. Let me show you what it looks like. So right here, it's not so much stock footage, but they're getting footage readily available on the YouTube internet, right? And they're just showing off like Boeing different like footage of the different aircrafts. And it's literally just the narrator talking over and giving commentary about different breakdowns of the airplanes. And it's just this the entire way through. Like I said, this is very easy to pull off. There's not any 3D editing, no animations, no AI generated content at all on this one besides the narration. So it's very, very simple for you to probably pull this off with an editor. So because of that, I would put this one, personally, I would say a scale 1 to 10 popularity. I put this probably at a 5. I would say difficulty would be probably an easy. And then long-term success would be probably a 5. I would say it's a 5. I think there is a lot of long-term success with this, but the only problem I see with a niche like this is it's a hit or miss. You can see that some ideas just don't hit. Like look, like 3.1K views versus 32,000 views. I mean, some ideas will not hit. And so if you go long enough in this niche, you'll probably run out of ideas, and there's a potential you go on like a dry spell for like 3 months where nothing takes off. You just can't come up with a good idea. So that's probably the only con I would say with this niche. All right, the next niche we have is NBA, specifically a certain style of editing, video editing for the NBA niche that I found. Now, NBA niche in general can make lots of money. In fact, I've made multiple 6 figures in the NBA niche, so I know it works, and it still to this day works. But the way this guy is doing it, I wanted to showcase this guy's channel because I feel like this channel is a very unique way of doing it. And I think that a lot of us can learn a lot from this guy. So 74,000 subscribers on B-Ball Explained. You can see, let's go to most popular videos. You can see 2 months ago, some of his most popular videos. Every NBA era explained in 31 minutes. You know, this is a very specific style of thumbnail that he's doing, and a very specific style of title that always performs. You notice he always says explained in 27 minutes or explained in 25 minutes. It's a certain style that just works for him. And what I want to show you guys real quick is how much this guy's making, and then I'll show you how he's doing the editing because it's a very unique way of editing. So currently this guy, B-Ball Explained, is, if we go to analytics, he is doing, let's see how much per month. Per month, he's doing $24,000. And remember, this is just one NBA channel, right? There's lots of NBA channels making lots of money faceless in this space. So that's doing very well. Now, I want to show you what he's doing. It's very unique, honestly. So let's go to most popular. I always like to show, what actually was successful for them. So let's go to this one.
The NBA didn't even exist when all this started, back in 1946. The league was called the Basketball Association of America.
So you notice the way the editing is. The editing is very simple. Like normally you would see a lot of motion, a lot of movement. You would show like different NBA players playing and background footage of different games and stuff like that. Normally people do that for their Faceless video background, but this guy is doing almost like a whiteboard illustration, like a very old classic way of explaining stuff, which is, I've seen a lot of similar editing styles blow up recently on YouTube. So I think we're seeing a little bit of a shift right now in the Faceless economy where these styles are a little bit becoming more famous, which is actually easier. It's easier to pull this type of editing style off than doing the stuff that, you know, the previous videos that, or the previous channels I just showed you guys off. It's actually easier to pull this off. And it's working. People are loving this simple analogy and style of editing where it's just a white background, images, and a little bit of text popping up explaining. So this editing style would be super cheap as well to hire someone to do it for you. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a very, very good niche. I would say popularity score, I would give it a 10. I've seen this niche work for a very long time. I mean, since the beginning of NBA, this niche has always gotten you millions of views and made you lots of money. So I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's very famous, and I think the long-term score is a 10 as well. And I would say difficulty, the difficulty of this would probably be easy, honestly. Like I've done it before. So I think this would be an easy for a beginner to figure out this editing style and everything. So yeah, I mean, it's a very, very good niche. NBA is a good one. All right, the next one we have is auto news, okay? So this one right here, Garage Heads, is a perfect example. There's people that's doing these videos where it's like Toyota CEO reveals new 10K pickup truck, or, you know, just unveiled the new 2025 pickup truck. Like these are very specific videos about cars, pretty much. Anything to do with the auto world, they're making videos about it. And it's actually getting a lot of views. And the great thing about this niche is the older demographics love this niche, which typically means it pays a significantly higher RPM. That's ultimately the goal. So if we go to analytics, let's see real quick how much money they're potentially making per month. So we're gonna have this load. This channel is making $15,000 a month right now, okay? $15,000 a month. And if we go to, like I said, these videos, I mean, it's stuff that I feel like a lot of you guys could do. Let me show you an example what the video looks like. So let's play a little bit of it.
We all know how car prices have been on the rise, and just now things seem to be turning around. But this new $10,000 Toyota truck is definitely the start of a new era. This is amazing.
So like I said, very simple editing. Like it's just finding, again, an editor will do this for you, but if you have to do it yourself, it's just finding different footage online on like YouTube or whatever, and even Google Images, and they're just putting it together in a video back and forth about whatever the narrator or script is talking about. The narration also sounds a little bit AI, so it's probably they're using 11 Labs as well for it. But dude, the editing, look at this, like
to be customizable. And Toyota has said it's undergone rigorous.
It's very simple editing. So like I would say the difficulty level for these videos are easy. It's an easy one. I would say popularity, I would put this probably at a 7. I would put it as at a 7 popularity score. It's very popular, but it's not going to be like getting you millions and millions and millions of views long term, but it's still going to get you lots of views where it can still pay some good money and pay the bills. I would say from a long-term success standpoint, I would probably put this at a 7. I would put this at a 7 because there is certain periods of time where there's not really any news going on in the automotive industry. Sometimes there's like a dry moment for like 2 months straight. So in that situation, you're kind of like waiting until something pops off, right, to make a video about. But generally speaking, like it's pretty long-term, and we'll always have automotive industry to talk about. So there's a good channel example, and there's lots more channels that are doing exactly what this guy's doing. All right, so the next one I want to show you guys is this channel called Sweaty Clam. So this niche, I would put it in the TV show / kind of cartoon TV show breakdown, but you could apply the same format to pretty much any other TV show that's famous. So they're specifically focusing on Family Guy though. Like if you look at all these videos that they have, they're doing like breakdowns and almost like looking deeper into the stories or different scenes of the TV show Family Guy. Now, a lot of people will sometimes ask me to be like, Caleb, isn't that copyright? Like, are you even allowed to use other people's TV shows, like especially a famous brand like this in the background? And I'll show you exactly how they're editing their videos to follow a rule called fair use. Fair use is a law that allows us, every Faceless YouTube channel uses it, it allows us to use copyright material within reason, and I'll show it to you guys in a second. But first, let's see how much money they're making, all right? So let's go to analytics. Let's see how much money this channel is pulling. Let's do reveal. They're doing $24,000 a month right now. $24,000 a month, literally just talking about TV shows. Like, imagine how fun of a life that is. You imagine you tell your friends, oh yeah, I'm making 20 grand a month just making videos about Family Guy, and I watch it daily. I mean, that is a brag. So this guy is obviously pulling it together. So let me show you how he's doing it. It's very interesting. So if we go to Stewie Griffin's worst ever moments, let's click on this video to see how they're editing it.
These are 10 episodes that show the worst things Stewie Griffin has done. Starting with number 10, the greatest crossover in the show's.
So you see how like immediately they're getting into the video. It's a narrator that is talking. That is the key thing that I want to highlight. You can't just simply take someone else's TV episode and re-upload it to YouTube in its entirety with no audio, no substance of you adding your own script to it. You can't do that. That's a violation of copyright. That's literally just pirating. But what you can do is you can add commentary. You can almost add reactions and breakdowns and summaries to another TV show. And so that's what this channel is actually doing. They're not really playing the episode. They're giving you a summary and a little bit deeper analysis of an episode. So it's a commentary video. That's the key that you have to pay attention to. So let's look a little bit deeper on how he's doing it.
History, The Simpsons guy. Thanks to his misogynistic comic strip in the Quahog newspaper, Peter becomes the target of an angry group of women. Clearly having learned nothing from angering Lois over the years, Peter doesn't realize.
So if you guys watch this, they rarely ever play actual audio. They rarely ever. Normally what they'll do is they'll maybe max play 3 seconds of the original audio from a TV show clip, but everything else is just the narrator talking the entire way through, giving different breakdowns of different scenes. Okay, so that's what I want you guys to understand. That's how he's able to get away with this, and it doesn't violate copyright. Okay, he's not actually playing the episode for anyone to watch, so then they don't have to pay for it. You know, that's the whole point. So this is why they're able to get away with it if you follow the right rules and the right fair use. So I recommend if you want to go into this niche, look deeper on the way he's editing it. They're very, very intentional on the way they edit their videos to avoid copyright. And you can apply the same format for a lot of different TV shows and famous shows out there, or movies even. And so I would say if I had to rate this, I would probably give this a like scale 1 to 10 on popularity. I would give this a 10. It's a 10 popularity. I mean, these are classic TV shows. Family Guy is a very classic TV show that has been relevant for like what, 18, 19, 20 seasons. So because of that, I will say it's definitely relevant, that will work long-term from now. So that also adds into what I was going to say, which is if I had to rate it based on long-term success, I would give it a 10. It's definitely a 10 and a 10 because this is a very good niche pretty much. And difficulty level, I would say it's a medium. The reason why this one would be a little bit more difficult than others is because you do have to do an analysis of Family Guy, and ChatGPT can only do so much work on the AI script writing for you when it comes down to a TV show or movie. Sometimes you have to give ChatGPT more input in order for it to write the script perfectly for you. So I will say it require a little bit more manual work of having to truly watch some of the episodes and dissect them and then turn them into a script. So that's the only con with this niche. All right, so the next one we got here is true crime, all right? There's a bunch of channels, but this is just one of the examples. This channel called Red Thread Interrogations. True crime is popping off. Like if we go to most popular videos 6 months ago, 1.3 million views, 1.1 million views, literally just interrogation videos of just, you know, people who committed a crime and they're in an interrogation and pretty much, you know, they do a deep analysis of what went wrong and also the storyline behind the interrogation. So if we go to analytics, let's real quick see how much this channel specifically is pulling monthly. So we let it load. There's a lot of big players in this niche. Let me see. So this specific channel is doing $38,000 a month, right? So this true crime channel is doing $38,000 a month. And like I said, there's a bunch of channels in this niche that's even doing bigger numbers than that. There's one channel, Dr. Insanity, I believe, that's doing $200,000 a month, okay? So it's a very lucrative niche. But here's the problem. This is a lot of work. You're talking about 1 hour episodes. The first 20 minutes is almost a backstory of the victim and like the killer, and is telling a whole story behind it. And then you finally get into interrogation, and then you show the interrogation for a while and play the clip, and then you have to kind of pause and then do a breakdown of the body language of the person in the interrogation and almost a deep analysis. It's a lot of work. And I know this because we're actually in this niche. Like some of my channels are in the true crime niche. It pays good, but it's an insane amount of work, and it's probably the hardest niche I've ever walked into. Now, that's what I'm saying. I would put this based on that. I would say the popularity scale of this niche is a 10. It's very popular. It's one of the best ones, but the difficulty of this is hard. Like, it's extremely hard. That's the difficulty I would put in this niche. I do not recommend beginners to walk into this niche because of how hard it is, but I would say when you become experienced with Faceless YouTube, walking into this niche then it makes sense. It makes sense at that point, walking into the niche, but I would not recommend doing it at the very beginning, because videos that are this long are going to probably cost you upwards of $300 per video. All right, $300 per video versus all the previous channels I've showed you guys, the previous niches, those probably only cost $40, maybe $70 per video, but this one for sure is gonna cost you around $300 for a video. So that's why I don't recommend going to this niche yet, unless you already have good money and you have experience like someone like I do, okay? From a long-term success standpoint, I would rate this a 10. Like scale 1 to 10, it's a 10. It's very long-term, and I think that there will always be crimes. Like, let's be honest, the world will never be a utopia, so there's always gonna be content to make videos about because of that. All right, guys, well, hopefully you got some value. Make sure you click on this video right here. It will help you out because I make a bunch of breakdowns helping you build Faceless YouTube channels, making money online. So make sure you click on that and hit that subscribe button.